Hey everyone, it's now time to eat hot dog buns. For this more savory bun, we are going to start with the same dough as the sandwich bread, made using the Tang method. Check out the sandwich bread video for the specific directions and follow them up to the end of the first rise. After the first rise, punch the dough down and divide it into 80 to 85 gram pieces. You should be able to get 7 to 8 buns out of this recipe. Take each piece and form them into smooth round balls by tucking the dough into itself on the bottom. Then work the dough by pushing it in circles on your work surface to seal the seam at the bottom. For the hot dog buns, there's two different ways to make it. One is kind of fancy and the other one is pretty plain. Plain one, pretty easy. Take your dough ball and roll it out. Get it enough surface area so that you can roll a whole hot dog in. This is a Costco sized hot dog, so it's pretty large. You take one end of it, you'll see that everything is an even thickness except on one side we're gonna flatten out really thin. Okay, it's almost paper thin. You can see how thin that is. So that we can seal that hot dog up and have the bun be an even thickness throughout. Take your hot dog, simply roll it up, get it sealed shut, and place it on your greased baking sheet. For a hot dog bun with a slightly more interesting shape, this one is in the shape of a plum flower. We need to cut these hot dogs down to size. Take your dough ball and roll it out into a rough oval. We're gonna try to keep it the exact same width as the hot dog so that the hot dog is entirely encapsulated without any overrun of the dough on the edges. We're gonna get this to about a 1/4 inch thick. You can always use your hands to reshape it. Take the hot dog and place it in the dough and wrap it up. Give the seam a nice pinch to make sure it's fully sealed and put that seam side down. We're going to cut this into 5 segments in order to make the plum flower shape. So before we do that, make sure it's scored so that we get very accurate segments. This is important so that it makes the shape easier to make. Cut all the way through the hot dog, but not through the dough. We're gonna make these little detached segments here. You see we have 5 segments, each with a left and a right side. So we'll take the first one and lay it with the left side towards the board. We'll take the second segment and lay it away from yourself with the left side towards the board. You'll see how it makes a little twist. We'll take the third segment and bring it towards yourself and lay it right side on the board. Take the fourth segment and push it away from yourself and lay the right side on the board. And the final segment, we're gonna lay, it's gonna naturally want to do this, but lay it with the right side on the board. And we're gonna push and stretch this dough so that it forms that plum flower shape. So don't be afraid to be rough with it, it'll stretch for you. Alright, once you're satisfied with the shape, we're going to transfer this over to a greased baking tray. Let the buns rise for 45 minutes, then bake in a 350-degree oven for 17 minutes. I learned in this run that adding too many scallions to the top actually really affects browning. I thought a nice pile of green on top would look nice for the photos, but the moisture from the scallions will reduce browning. so keep that in mind when you decide how much you want to put. I would recommend less than 1 teaspoon. I hope you enjoyed watching us bake some of the all-time crowd favorites from an Asian bakery. To see more, make sure you hit those like and subscribe buttons, and maybe even share this video with your friends. And we will see you in the next one when it's time to eat again. And we have one more thing to add today. We are running our subscriber campaign up until the end of Thanksgiving Day. We are pledging to donate $1 for every subscriber and $1 for every 10 likes cumulatively on all of our videos to Feeding America. Check out our previous video for more information.